Mr. Phil and I wanted to record a little video on this week's story, which is found in the Gospel Bible Storybook. This week's lesson is on the tabernacle. It is a really cool story. It is found in Exodus 25 and 26, so if you want to grab your Bible to follow along, go ahead. After God had given Moses the 10 Commandments, he then commanded Moses to build a special tent. Now this tent was special because God was going to dwell with the people in the midst of the camp. The tent was going to be called the tabernacle because this is where God was going to dwell. God had given Moses special instructions on how the tent should be put together. There would be special furniture as well as other special items in the tent. Now you ask, where would the people get these special gifts of gold and silver and these other various things? Well, if you remember, when they were leaving Egypt, the Egyptians gave them a lot of gifts so they would leave. And that is exactly what God had planned for the tabernacle to be built, with these special items. The tabernacle basically was 2 rooms. One was a little bit larger than the other. The smaller one was known as the Holy of Holies and was the place that God was going to dwell, and was divided by another special curtain. This was so the people realized that God could not live amongst sin. The larger room in the tent was called the Holy Place. Both had many special items. In the Holy of Holies, God told Moses to have someone build the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was very special because that was where God was going to live. The outside walls of the tent were not like regular walls of your house. They were actually special curtains that were designed and decorated with special stitching. They also had gold poles which they all hung on, and everything was made so it could be taken apart at a moment's notice when God told the people to move. The tribe of Levi was in charge of making sure the tent was packed up and set up, as well as taken down when they were ready to move. In the most holy place was the Ark of the Covenant. This was a very special piece of furniture which was made of Arcadia wood and laid in gold. That must have been really heavy. The top of it was called the mercy seat, and it had 2 angels or cherubims which faced each other. And that was where God told Moses he would meet with him. God instructed Moses to put the mercy seat on top of the ark, and in the ark, God was going to give Moses special instructions of special items which needed to be placed in the ark. The ark also had big rings so that poles could fit through it, because no one was allowed to touch the Ark of the Covenant because it was so holy. The entire ark was made out of gold, so you can imagine it would take more than one person to carry it. That is why they had the poles, so several men who were from the tribe of Levi would be in charge of carrying it. Did you know in John's Gospel, Jesus is referred to the ark as the Ark of the Covenant of God? God told John that when Jesus came, he would come to tabernacle or live with us. When God told Moses to make the tabernacle, he was letting us see into the future when Jesus would come and he would become the tabernacle, or would come and dwell with us. One of Jesus' name, if you remember, is Emmanuel, which is God with us. Here are a few questions that you and Mom and Dad can talk about. What did the Ark of the Covenant represent? What room in the tabernacle was a special place where God would meet with Moses? And what did God say that Moses was to put inside the ark? I hope you enjoyed this story. We love you all, and we're praying for you, and looking forward to seeing you all soon.